Hi everybody, welcome to This Old Barn. My name is Jacqueline. I am the facilities coordinator here at Happily Ever Esther. I just wanted to pop on today and give you guys an update about what we've been working on this week as on the facilities team. So our good friend Abraham, who used to live up in pasture 7 with all the goats and sheep, he is on a bit of a diet. He was on a diet over the summertime where he was wearing a muzzle so he wasn't grazing as much, but unfortunately where there's a will, there's a way, and it didn't work very well. So he is moving down to 1A in the main barn, living with Catherine right now to help kind of control his diet a bit more. We've moved the rest of the sheep down into 1B, which is just right beside them. And we've just cut a hole in the wall and put a gate there so he can see his friends and still spend some time with them without actually being in their area and eating all their hay. This also makes it a lot easier for resident movement, for getting the rest of the sheep outside for outside access. Before we had to walk them through the main barn and then into 1A out the back door. Now it's a much easier, much more controlled space. So one of our volunteers, who's a new facilities volunteer, actually did this for us yesterday. There's still a little bit of editing that needs to be done to make it safe for them to walk through. But right now there's a gate, there's a big hole in the wall, and Catherine spent her night with her head at the gate looking at everybody and saying hi to all of her friends. So that's great that that got done, and we're very, very thankful for our volunteer who spent a good chunk of his day here getting that done for us. On Sunday, we had a volunteer appreciation day and open house. We've said it a million times, but we can never say it enough. We can't do anything without the support and help of our volunteers. They help with barn chores, they help with picking up residents from vet visits, they help with pretty much everything on a day-to-day basis. So just to start off the year right, we had a nice little barbecue. It was catered by Sausage Party. It was delicious. There was a big fire, s'mores, hot chocolate. It was a really lovely day. So we had spend a nice day on Sunday with the whole team. And luckily it wasn't like this, it wasn't snowing. So that was very nice to be able to spend the day outside with everybody and just really, really spend, just show our appreciation for the team. Sausage Party is a plant-based hot dog, it's a restaurant, it's not just hot dogs, but they made really yummy potato salad, sausages, they supplied hot chocolate. It was a very lovely day. Our good pal Rodney, who lives over in the round pen in pasture 8, now that it's getting a bit colder, we are just trying to continue to winterize his area. So that means getting a de-icer into his water so it's not freezing over overnight. We're putting on batten strips, which you can kind of see some right here on this barn, these guys right here, which just cover up any like cracks in the wood to make sure there's no draft getting through. And then similar, the wind flaps that are in the pasture 9 barn right here, that helps with the draft as well to keep him warm inside. He doesn't seem to be a big winter boy. He likes to spend his days buried in his straw in the barn. So he, I think he's going to appreciate all the continuous winterizing we're doing of his area. And then you can see what's happening right now, the lovely snow. It's finally starting to hit us. December was incredibly light. I don't think that we did any snow removal really. But this Tuesday was our first day of getting hit with a bit of a storm. It ended up not being as bad as we expected, but we're gearing up because I think Friday to Saturday is going to be a big one. And even today, we weren't really expecting that much snow, but it's been pretty steady all morning. With snow removal on the property, top priority and first thing in the morning is making sure that the grounds are safe for staff and volunteers who are coming on site. So that means making sure the parking lot is plowed, making sure the main pathways up to like the trailer, up to the barn, all those are taken care of. On Tuesday, it rained quite a bit, so there's a lot of big ice patches around. So putting down salt or putting down sand, making sure that the team is wearing the spikes on their shoes just to add a little bit more grip when they're walking around. We have a lot of different snow removal techniques. We just shovel, which is not always fun, but it has to happen. We have a plow that goes on the front of the quad. We have a snow blower, a push one, and we have a big one that goes on the back of our tractor. So it wasn't enough snow to use the tractor or the push snow blower this week. We were just using the quad and doing some hand shoveling, and then driving around putting salt on the ground. But we'll see what happens on Friday and Saturday. I think it's going to be lots of snow removal. Things that we always keep in mind while we're removing snow is making sure that gates are still able to be opened. That's something that we see most winters, is that if snow starts to pile in front of gates and they're getting forced open, that's how things break. So making sure that everything's clear, easy for us to use, easy for us to get into resident spaces. If there was an issue and we needed to go get someone and bring them to the vet, we need to be able to drive into the pasture or drive up to the pasture. So making sure everything's clear like that. Yeah, I'm pausing for a second to read what my next thing is. And yesterday we had a farrier in to give Pouty a hoof trim. It was quite the setup. So in the past, like this last year when Denver was going to OVC to the vet for his eye for some like hoof issues, he was getting some hoof trims in their tilt, which was a giant machine that he walks into, and it puts them on the side so it's easy access to the hooves and kind of keeps them as still as possible. So the farrier came with a mobile tilt and drove up into pasture 9. We didn't end up using the chute to get Pouty into it. He just walked right out of the barn, and with a little bit of coaxing from us and a bit of grain, a bit of kale, he got into the tilt. And we did, well, not we, the farrier did a quick hoof trim. It probably took like 10 minutes at most to trim all 4 hooves, and Pouty did great. He was a little bit uncertain going in, which fair enough, but he was very brave and is looking beautiful, brand new boy. As the facilities team for getting ready for this, we were setting up kind of like a pathway leading into the tilt to make sure that he was focused and just had one direction to go, couldn't turn around, couldn't change his mind, go back into the barn. We supplied like generators, we had some like equipment to help move him. So yeah, we were just a part of like the resident movement of Pouty's hoof trim. And while I'm talking about Pouty and the boys, we've started to like look at quotes and started to reach out for the cattle chute roof that we were fundraising for at the Holiday Magic campaign, which I haven't had a chance to say thank you yet, but thank you very much for helping us reach the goal. Just amazing. It's going to be a great 2024. And we're off to a wonderful start. So we've started to draft up some plans. We've started to reach out to get some quotes on what we can kind of expect for this build. And I don't know the timeline specifically of when we're hoping to do this, but it's a good thing we're starting early and we're getting ready. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It'll be nice on like a day like this if we had to be working out in the chute, not standing out in the snow. It'll help keep us safe, dry, and warm. It'll help keep the boys safe, dry, and warm. So all around amazing stuff. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the sanctuary. And yeah, your support and love means the world to us. Hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and until next time.